Welcome back, everybody, to Nine's Corner. I hope you're doing well, feeling well. What a heavy reading we had the other day. But I am telling you, I don't know if it's the month of May, the energy changes. I just feel like I'm getting downloads. It's like the information's coming and I just feel it. So I thought we need to do a reading on the month of May. Because, May month is the month of 5. So we're looking at major changes, upheavals. There's going to be good, bad, high, low. And it's also with a combination of the May month being 5 and the world number being 4. We've got a 9. So this is when big things can come to an end, big things can come to a close or to a beginning. This is a time of discovery. There's going to be new communications. There's going to be new information coming out. And it's going to be a lot, and there's going to be a lot of emotion. And for us to take care of ourselves, we have to find the way to increase our vibration so we're not in the lower vibration and energies of all the negative things that are going on. And don't forget, we're 70% water. So if you listen to some uplifting music or do anything to kind of raise your vibration, you have the ability within us to do it for ourselves. And the reality is we're right here where we're supposed to be in this moment. The past, that's something that you either look back with fondly or something you regret because, 2020 vision. The future, it's unknown because there's just so much that can happen. There's so much free will. It's unwritten yet, but we have the power to manifest it no matter what's going on the world stage. So I'm saying go with the flow of the mood and change of May because that will help you benefit and manifest something great rather than manifesting all the negativity. So watch yourself. Don't spend too much time, listening to the news and getting yourself too kerfuffled because after a while that really affects your immunity. So I thought let's look and see what's going to happen with us, with the world community of people. What's going to be the feelings and emotions and the mood of May? How is that going to affect us? Especially when you consider we're going to have a new moon on May 7th, and that's in Scorpio. So I'm a Scorpio. That is life, death. That is beginning and endings. That is sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's going to be a time of jaw-dropping acknowledgments. So let's see how that is going to affect us. Temperance. So I think for a good majority of people out there, the reality is they're trying to look to a higher being, a higher energy, whether that's God, spirituality, whatever it is that you search, that's what we as a collective are looking for. So that's a good thing because that means no matter if you're on the red team, the blue team, or you're independent or what have you, it means that we're all putting the energies into an SOS of help that we need to balance things out. Temperance is the balancing out of things. So that means there's going to be days when they balance things out and it's going to be good. There's going to be days when they're going to balance things out and it's not going to be so good. So this is definitely saying there's going to still be instability going forth, but we're going to be all right. We're going to figure it out. It's just going to take some time. And think about it. We're in the world number of 4, which is stability. Currently, right now, we're in the month of April, which is 4. So that's like double stability. That's doubly looking at what it is that you are putting forth. What foundation are you making to go forth with? And in the month of 5, we're looking back going, okay, what just happened? Whatever didn't work, we need to change because 5 is all about change. And in 2020, we're in that world of foundation of 4. So when we go into 2021, it's not that things are all of a sudden going to just miraculously be good, but we're definitely going to be in the universal year of 5, which for all of us is going to be looking back at the stability of our foundation and figuring out, is this working? Anything that doesn't work is going to be gone and destroyed. Anything that doesn't work is going to have altercations to it. They're going to balance it out, just like the Temperance card, to figure out how things are going to go forward. So let's look and see, how is the coronavirus? Because in my previous readings, I've always said that the coronavirus in May, we would hear some good news, some way of being able to deal with it and being able to get ourselves back to work in a more safe manner. September, I always see is that month where there's going to be this revelation of, okay, I can see in the future how we're going to know that there's enough there that we're going to be able to tentatively go forth, but in a new way. And I think by, over the next few years, this is the time when we're going to have to take down the old to make room for the new. And that includes dealing with our health on a different level. And even for us, like I said, your energy gets invaded. You need to up your energy. There's like YouTube videos you can go on to where they tell you the exact proper tunes to be able to raise your energy, raise your health. It sort of like goes back to the time of Tesla, and you never know, because we're in the time of Aquarius. We're going into those years, and we're going into the years of foundation and change. So there's going to be a lot of thoughts. There's going to be a lot of things that are in the thought realm that's going to affect us. So let's look and see, how is the coronavirus looking now with the new energies going into May? We have the Eight of Wands, so it's going to be quick. It's going to be quicker than we think. 8 will probably be bringing us up to December, January of 2021. So we're looking at some time, but there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of work being done on it, and this is going to come to fruition, but it's just going to take some time, but it's positive. It's all really positive. So, it's just that in the background, like, you can see that the positivity's there, but there's still a lot of things that are happening. And for those who have a difficult time of it, this is going to take a slower time to recoup. In countries where, they already have enough challenges, that it's going to take longer. But I think that once we get into gaining some knowledge as to how to deal with it, we'll be able to put that out on a world stage. So let's look and see. Will Trump benefit from any good news that comes out in May? Because I do think that it's going to be a jaw-dropping month of like, what? Who said what? But it's also going to be a month of discovery. So anything that's bad, he says, not my problem, not my responsibility. Anything that's good, he says, yeah, I did that. So let's look and see, how is this going to affect Donald Trump? Donald Trump is the King of Cups, so he is full of emotion. He is feeling his emotions. He's probably a little cranky, probably a little paranoid, but he's still the king. And I think that at this time, and an emperor is a 4, so again, foundation. So he's trying to look at building a foundation, but with the King of Cups, it's almost like he tries to promote himself. He tries to say, hey, look at what I've done positively. Don't look at the negative. But people are so frustrated and fed up that they don't care. It's not even like, it's not even like there's a black and white to it. It's just, they don't care anymore. So he is going to get a rude awakening in May. Wow. So one of the things that I did want to look into, which is kind of bringing me down a bit, I'd like to look at the world when it comes to war, or even Cold War, because we're looking at so much instability in the world. You've got China, North Korea. 180 plus countries are angry with the Communist Party. There's a lot of people, getting in the mix, and there's a high vibration, and now we're going into the month of 5 with the 9. So there's going to be major endings, major things that are going to befall all over the world, not just in one place. So I want to look into it and see, what are the energies going towards all this destabilization of all the countries? Okay. Past, we have the Emperor, Lord Lipton. And the Emperor is a 4 again, so this is stability again. So I think that Trump or whoever, the ones that are having a difficult time with their power, they're looking at whatever they can to try to find a way to get out of it. So they will try to create a conversation that's outside of looking at them, looking at what they're responsible for. So there's going to be conversations. There's going to be the poking of the bear. Presently, we have the death card. So this is transformations. Funnily enough, you know, if you look at death, death is associated with Scorpio. Scorpio has the new moon coming May 7th. So I think there's going to be challenges, even though there's going to be anger and there's going to be a want for people to pay, and also to, you know, create a disturbance over here, so you're not looking internally. But I think this death card is more putting challenges and putting obstacles up for those in power, so that they might lean on it and try to, you know, put people in a place of fear. But at the end, it's going to be enough from the universe to kind of stop it from really taking hold in the future. We have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is, it's almost like an embrace of mankind. So I think that this is showing that right now there's some disturbances, but the overall energy is one that is keeping care of mankind. So that's a good thing. There's, you know, it's saying that even if things get crazy and the fear is really strong, trust and believe that it's going to work out. Trust and believe it's going to work out. So let's look at Trump and how the month of May is going to affect him in his energies as to, are you going to leave? I know we do this all the time, and we're going to continue to do it until the man walks away. But let's have a look and see. Is there any energies that are... The moon. The moon is shadows, secrets. It's disturbing. It is insanity. I think Trump is really at that point where he's losing it, and we're going to be going into even crazier times with him. This is going to get really, really difficult. But this is also showing that he is starting to get a sense of his ability or his inability, which is going to cause him to even get more crazier. And this is sort of like everything he does, whatever decisions he makes, and even if he decides to walk away from it all, it's going to be based on his emotion. He won't even know it's happening. He might just literally be there one day and just say, you know what, I'm done. But the fear is that there's so much danger in whatever he does. So let's look at Joe Biden, because he's been having an interesting time the last week. He's had sexual assault allegations that were made by Tara Reid. I did a reading on that in the past. I do believe that something happened. This is a man, if you go back with Joe Biden, he has a 3 in his numerology. 3 has to do with your sexuality. And when you've got a 3, and that's like in his personality, that's somebody who's a little bit overly touchy-feely. It can shadow on either side, where it's an innocent intent, or it could be a negative intent. I think for Joe Biden, he is creepy. I think that if you go back 30 years, you're not looking at a feeble man. You're looking at a man that was a senator, or somebody who had power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So he might have not did it with the ill intention, thinking that he was going to be a Harvey Weinstein. Sorry, I said his name wrong in the last video. But he will take advantage of what he can when he can. So I don't know if the story is as strong as what she has made it out to be, but I do think that there is a truth in it. And it's interesting that you're seeing a lot of women who are supporting Donald Trump and who have rallied around him. And then you have, you know, the media who could have jumped on this months and months and months ago. I talked about it a long time ago. But I think they truly wanted to just let Bernie burn out and let Biden get in, and then we'll talk about it and try to cover it up, because I do think it is a bit of a cover up. So let's have a look and see what the vibrations, good and bad, in May, how they're going to affect Joe Biden. Page of Wands, Page of Wands. Well, the Page of Wands, it's not a king, it's not a queen, it's not a knight. So his energy is very low. He doesn't have a lot of fire. He doesn't have the ability for the fire. I think he's looking into the future and he's seeing that I just can't do it. I just don't have the ability. I think that he has to really be worried about his health, and that's not just his physical health, that's his mental health. And, you know, with the Page of Wands, they usually get help. They get some ability for people to lift them up, and this is like associated with a Sagittarius. So I'd be interested to see if any of these VP picks are Sagittarius. I'm gonna have to go look at it. You watch now, none of them are Sagittarius. So if that's the case, if 0 of them are Sagittarius, that might mean that there's somebody out in the ether that we haven't even seen yet who's a Sagittarius, or could be. We're gonna have to look at that now. See, I wish I could go look at that right away. All right. So, will the tarot read, will the sexual allegations, will they affect Joe Biden going forward? Will it affect him in the month of May to the point where he would have to stop or something? Two of Swords. So it's almost like you've got 2 swords, you've got 2 heavy, equally heavy situations. You've got dump Trump on the one side, and then you've got the need for change and power on the other side. You've got the people that are backing Joe Biden closing their eyes to the fact that he's past due. And you also have Joe Biden closing his eyes to the fact that he knows that there's some truth to this allegation, but he's going to feel the fear and do it anyway because he's got people around him saying that, look, you are the second coming that we need. So, and also with a 2, you're looking at partial success, partial time. So I think that, you know, they might do their best to damper it down, but Trump, the Republicans, they will bring it back up. They will try to cause trouble. And I'm not saying, I don't get the devil card. I don't get this like really mean intention towards it. I just find he's almost got that vibration of that creepy, you know, that creepy uncle or the creepy neighbor who comes over and hugs you, and you know he's trying to check out the situation, and he's like, oh, you're getting bigger. That's how Joe Biden is. And I mean, look, when you're in positions of power, you have to be aware that people underneath you will do and say things that they wouldn't normally do and say, for the simple fact that you have the power over them. So, interesting read, guys. May is going to be such an interesting, fun time for us. So do not despair. Do not get overwhelmed. It's going to work out, and it's going to work out faster and quicker than we actually think. So as always, I have my candle lit for each and every one of us, and I wish you light for your darkness. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon. Take care.